Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, hello, my name is Kendall, and by the title of the video, you probably know I'm going to be talking about the Yeezy QNTM Bariums. But if you guys follow me on Instagram, you would know that I posted a little question about what I bought from StockX, and this is the answer to that question. So only one person actually got it right, so shout out to Tim because he always gets the answers right. But anyway, a lot of people had some good guesses, so this is definitely something new for me because I have never purchased from StockX before, and let alone like any type of reselling website. I typically stick to just like getting it for retail, just because like if I don't get it, then I just take the L and like whatever, I don't want to pay more. But this was a different scenario for me because I really wanted the QNTM so bad, and I saw that the Bariums in my size were actually under retail. So being that these were under retail, like I could not believe these were under retail. Like I don't know why they are, because I thought so many people were going after them. I mean, just my size, like only a few sizes are actually under retail. But anyway, the fact that they were under retail, I was like, I have to do it. So I ended up paying $2.30 for it, and then like after shipping and taxes, it came to $2.50 and 85 cents. So I ended up paying only 85 cents over retail, which is literally retail, you know, it's $2.50, so whatever, 85 cents, like who cares about that? So I was so happy, and I could not believe that I basically paid retail for these. And I really like these shoes so much, so I'm really excited to show you guys what they look like. So let's get into it. First off, the box that it comes in is basically the same box as the rest of the Yeezys, except this box is a little bit wider and longer, and it also says QNTM on the top of the box. So here is the QNTM Bariums. And first looking at this shoe, you can tell that it's very similar to the original QNTMs. It's probably just like a little bit darker. Obviously, like the main ones are kind of like very vibrant gray, like they're a little bit brighter. And personally, I really like the QNTMs better, like the original one, but they are really pricey, so this is definitely a better alternative. So first, starting off around the toe box, it's kind of like a darker gray suede material, and it's very soft like when you touch it. And then moving up from the toe box to the tongue of the shoe, it's a neoprene material, and it is very soft too, like how neoprene feels. And when you look at the shoe, it kind of looks like the tongue is very small, or like shorter, but basically it's not, because like the ankles on the side kind of go up a little bit more, so it kind of seems like the tongue's a little bit like shorter. But all the way throughout the ankle you have like the neoprene material as well, and it just like gives it a little bit more of like ankle support, even though this one isn't like for basketball, because this is more of like the lifestyle model. Especially the original QNTMs, they have two different versions, like a basketball one and the lifestyle one. But it definitely, for me, like it gives you like a little bit of support on the side, but it's not like very supportive around the ankles, I would say, like if you're gonna play basketball in them. But obviously I feel like the ones that are made for basketball are probably a little bit better, like more supportive, although I never saw those in person, so I can't really say, but that's just like my thought. So moving to the side of the shoe, there's two parts to the side of the shoe. Like on the underlying layer, it's more of like a tannish gray, and it definitely has hints of the 3M, so that's pretty cool. Like when you take a photo, it's like reflective. And if you look like really closely, you can see that the 3M is like knitted in there. Like at first I didn't even know that, and then as I like looked closely at the shoe, I was like, wow, that's really cool if you take a photo with it. And then on the top of that knit layer, you have this rubbery plastic cage, and it is very soft like when you feel it, so I would say it's more of like a rubber feel, but I'm sure it has like some plastic in there too. And I feel like it has a cool look to it because you have like the underlying knit layer, and then you have this cage on top of it, so it definitely gives more like layers to the shoe and more character. So moving down to the midsole, you have a translucent midsole with the boost bottom. So being that it is boost, like it is very comfortable, and I do think that it's like more of like a thicker boost than like the 350 V2s. It definitely feels more comfortable to me. And then as you move to the edge of the shoe, there's another material here. It's kind of like plastic and rubber, I would say. Although it doesn't feel like rubber, it is pretty like rough, but it's not like a really rough plastic feel. So it's also silver, and this is kind of like a dark gray black. And honestly, it does look a little bit gray to me, like dark gray, because there is 3M on here. So I think that's why, because it probably is black, but since like the 3M is on it, it looks like a touch lighter. So it is really cool too, because it does have that 3M reflective. So when you take the photo again, it looks pretty cool. And it just wraps all the way on the back of the shoe to the other side. And then on the inside of the shoe, it just has the Adidas symbol with the writing Yeezy. So for the sizing for these, I did stick with my true to size. And usually, like for 350 V2s, they recommend to go a half size up. But I didn't go a half size up for this. I actually went with my true to size, which is a 6.5. And I do have to say, like, I'm really happy I went true to size. They are a little bit wider, so I definitely didn't want it to be like really bulky on me, even though it is a wide shoe, so it's going to be a little bit wider to begin with. But I do have to say, if I went any further down, I feel like my toes like would have like been too crammed in the top. So I definitely think that that true to size for me was perfect. So overall, I am extremely happy with these. I mean, I think it depends, like if you're not really into basketball shoes, then it might be a little bit hard to like get into these. But for me, I like always played basketball when I was younger, so I definitely really wanted these so bad, and especially because it's a Yeezy, but it's something so different from any of the other Yeezys. So I think that the Quantums like were a must for me, and I'm so happy that I was able to get it for retail. I also think that like the comfort on these is definitely a plus. Like they are more comfortable than other like 350 V2s, I would say. Although sometimes people may argue with that. I mean, it's just a personal preference. So to me, like I really think they're very comfortable, and I think these would be perfect like in the wintertime with some sweatpants. So I'm really excited to wear them, especially in the wintertime. And like I said before, I really wanted the Quantums, like the original ones, and those are my favorite like by far. I do like them better than this, but if you look at the prices, like it's extremely expensive, so no one really wants to pay that. And this is definitely a more affordable option. So if you really want the Quantums, I would definitely recommend these. And not to mention, right now, like on StockX, I just looked before, there are a few sizes like a 6, 6.5, and I believe 7.5 that are going for under retail. So like you can't beat that. So even though like it's under retail right now, like obviously I think it's like 13 for shipping and then like another 10 or something for their fees and stuff. Basically, like once you do that, it'll probably be like $250 or a little bit under. So that's definitely a really good option right there. Like that's a steal, because these go for $250 for retail. So if you can get it for retail like 5 months after they dropped, I think it's 5 months, don't quote me on that. I just think like that's such a good option, because like no one wants to really pay resale. Like come on, no one wants to do that. So just keep in mind, if you aren't really a big fan of like wide shoes and bulky shoes, you may not like these. But honestly, like the fact I went true to size, it definitely helped with that. But you just have to keep in mind it is a little bit of a wider base shoe, so it's obviously going to look a little bit more bulkier. But to me, I absolutely love these. I think you can't go wrong with this, and especially now that it's under retail, like I cannot believe it's under retail for some sizes. Like I think that's crazy, because I really like these so much. But that's also a good thing, especially if you guys really wanted them and you couldn't get them before. Definitely a great option, because now you're going to pay retail or a little bit less. So I think it's definitely worth it, and yeah, you can't go wrong. So I'll show you guys how they look on feet now.
Lady, come here, let me tell you something. Lately I've been wondering if you could be mine forever. See, you was like God, he must be up to something. Know you tired of running, let's just stay here together. I know your mama told you don't let guys go running off with your love. You don't even open up, so your heart can't get crushed. You been let down so many times, you wonder if you need to get up. You done been through too much, but I ain't tryna mess this up. Hey, let's get away. We can take a trip to the bay.
So that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking of this shoe and how you're liking it, or if you're gonna pick it up. And definitely I would recommend to just check StockX and see if it's under retail still. I hope it still stays like that, which I'm pretty sure it will. But definitely check your size if you really want them. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.